Hardy Boys go to Vegas. But the dice are loaded against them. Then,
If I have to, I'll kill you.
it's a duel to the death with a killer chopper for the $6 million man. Then, hang on for John Wayne and a spectacular 2 hours of Hollywood at war. Oscar presents the War Movies and John Wayne. Right after the Hardy Boys histories and the $6 million man.
Watch Sunday starting at 6 Central on ABC.
The Cornhusker Marching Band is on the field here at halftime. We'll be joined their halftime activities and their music and their formations. Let me bring you up to date. I know that this is the kind of a day, this middle break of a Thanksgiving holiday, where people are in and out of the house doing some of their Christmas shopping. So we'll bring you up to date on the scoring as it's happened so far. There was no scoring in the first quarter, but with just 2 seconds gone in the second period, Elvis Peacock climaxed a 65-yard drive by Oklahoma, going in for the score, and the extra point was good. Then Oklahoma came back 9 minutes later as Peacock went in for his second touchdown of the afternoon, climaxing an 80-yard drive. That made it 14-0. Then Nebraska got on the scoreboard with Rick Burns going in from 2 yards out. They moved 80 yards in 8 plays, and the key in that one was a 36-yard pass from Tom Sorley to Brown to put the ball down to the 2-yard line. It was 14-7. And then with just 29 seconds to go in the first half, the Sooners came back another time with an 80-yard 9 plays this time. A key in there was a 29-yard run by Thomas Lott, the quarterback. He climaxed actually himself with an 11-yard sprint to the end zone. And so the halftime score, Oklahoma 21, Nebraska 7. Both teams played very hard and very good football in the first half, as they always do in this series. Today's Fireman's Fund flashback is brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance. And Fireman's Fund Insurance is brought to you by an independent agent near you. It was billed the game of the century. Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma, 1971. Nebraska #1 in the nation, Oklahoma #2. In the first quarter, number 20, halfback Johnny Rogers was standing back to receive a punt. Many people feel that this was the play that led to his winning the Heisman Trophy. An unbelievable stop-start double-clutching run of 72 yards that gave Nebraska a 7-0 lead. This run wound up in the Oklahoma end zone. The game seesawed back and forth. In the final period, the Sooners were trailing 28-24. Exactly 7 minutes to go. Quarterback Jack Mildred trying desperately to get his team back in front. John Harrison open. Fires a 16-yard pass, and it's a touchdown. The Sooners regained the lead, 31-28. And then the Cornhuskers had a 74-yard drive that eventually carried to the 2. With only 1:38 to go, Jeff Kinney plunged into the end zone for the score. He had carried 7 of the 12 plays in that long run. Nebraska, #1, won that classic 35-31. And that was the last time that the Huskers have won this big one. They came close in last year's game. Nebraska was leading 17-7 in the fourth quarter, 12:28 to go, and then what happened? Elvis Peacock exploded for this 50-yard run. The Sooners went for 2 but failed. So the Huskers were still in front, 17-13. But here's where Oklahoma turns some razzle-dazzle football loose that few fans will ever forget. Quarterback Thomas Lott to William Shepard, who passes to Steve Rhodes. He's behind the defenders, catches the ball for 47 yards and first down on the 30-yard line with time running out. Oklahoma trailing 17-13. 5 players. 3rd and 19 on the 34, and more trickery. Dean Blevins passes to Rhodes, laterals to Peacock. It's no flea flicker play. Taken out of an ancient play. Out of bounds on the 2-yard line, and then, with 38 seconds to go, it was Elvis Peacock who got the call. Anxious Barry Switzer on the sideline. Peacock sees the corner of the end zone, sprints for it, and he wins the race. And the football game. Oklahoma tops Nebraska 20-17 for the win in a row in this great rivalry.
You know, for years, we tried our very best to bring in one insurance symbol. The big red fire hat, Fireman's Fund. But right now, there's another even more important symbol we'd like to bring in. And here it is. It's the sign of the person who sells our insurance, the independent agent. Independent because each one represents several companies, not just ours. Which means each one is free to pick and choose, to hunt, until he finds the very best policy and the very best price. In other words, independent agents don't work for an insurance company. They work for you. So if you need insurance, naturally, we hope your agent will recommend Fireman's Fund. In any event, we recommend this. Whenever you need protection, make sure you look for this sign, the sign of the independent agent, and you know you won't get burned. In the outrages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies, subsidiaries of American Express.
Bill Fleming along with Rick Forzano back here at halftime at Owen Field in Norman, Oklahoma. The colorful marching red, the big red band of the University of Nebraska on the field now. And directed by Dr. Robert Pope, assisted by Mark Hopp and James Regular. And of course, guys, this music from Star Wars.
For well over a century, the area which is now Nebraska has been the nation's main street. Dreams helped these early Nebraskans to survive, and one of their first dreams was realized with the founding of this great state university, which today serves almost 22,000 students. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln is also a land-grant college which extends its benefits to all Nebraskans through a variety of teaching, research, and service programs. For example, all of the Great Plains have profited from wheat research at UNL, which resulted in enormous increases in yields from a number of new varieties. Now, work at the new Center for Great Plains Studies at UNL looks at all aspects of life on the plains, including urban and rural geography, its native and foreign-born peoples and arts, politics, economics, languages, religions, and customs. Understanding the past will help to make decisions today which will affect the area's future. A Center for Great Plains Studies at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, making the good life better in Nebraska land.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the pride of Oklahoma, the marching band of the Sooners of the University of Oklahoma, under the direction of Mr. Gene Thralefield. Drum major is sophomore David French. You know, the flag bearers always hope that there's that little bit of breeze there to make it even more spectacular, and we have just about the right amount today so it doesn't tear the flag out of the hero's hand. But it is a colorful sight on a cloudless day here in Norman. One of the features, by the way, of this halftime will be the appearance of Miss Carol Channing, who, of course, made Hello Dolly so famous. She is in Oklahoma for the performance of Hello Dolly, Oklahoma City, as a matter of fact. So she is attending the game here today. Talk about exuberance and enthusiasm. I don't think anybody in the American stage has ever made a more explosive impression than Carol Channing. I believe they're going to introduce her at this point to the 71,000 fans here. Here she is at the center of the field, right at midfield. Oh, there's nobody like her. Here she is. I'll tell you, you can feel her presence, and she's 150 yards away from her. And what else but Hello Dolly? She's probably heard it a million times, but she's never heard it with 220 bandsmen. And I don't think she's ever conducted it before. Some kind of a plaque being presented to Carol Channing. Oh, she's an honorary member of the Pride of Oklahoma Marching Band. That's what it is. Well, our game today is the start of a big weekend here on ABC as far as college football is concerned. Coming up tonight, the majority of the country is going to see the battle between USC and UCLA. Boy, that's a game that has had some spectacular performers and performances. Remember O.J. Simpson, that great run in '68? UCLA has had some thrills of its own in this one, too. You can bet that the Bruins and the Trojans will be primed and ready to go tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Chris Schenkel, Frank Broyles on hand. Remember this play? Dennis Thurman running with an intercepted fumble a year ago. A key play in that ball game. So, watch tonight. USC and UCLA. And then tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern Time, Pitt and Penn State, followed by the Army-Navy game at 4 o'clock. And during part of both Penn State-Pitt game and the Army-Navy game, you will see live coverage of the game between Texas and Texas A&M to determine which team will meet Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl. This game today, of course, to determine which team will go to the Orange Bowl and which to the Liberty Bowl. So a lot of bowl implications coming up this weekend. Now, let's turn our attention to the Pride of Oklahoma, the marching band that has just saluted Carol Channing. Now they're going to repeat a dance routine they did earlier. Stevie Wonder's I Wish is the music. In case you joined us a little bit late, the Oklahoma Sooners took a 14-0 lead over the Cornhuskers, and then Nebraska came roaring back to make it 14-7, and then just 29 seconds before the end of the first half, Oklahoma went up on top 21-7. That's the way we stand right now with a lot of football to be played. Ooh, the big percussion sections go to work now. Featured twirler in this next number is Pam Martin. from Sunnyvale, California. Performing in brilliant sunshine here in Norman today, although it's a little on the breezy side, a little chilly, about 53 or 4 degrees. Certainly an ideal day for the football players, if not for twirlers. She is good, I'll tell you. Flawless performance by Miss Pam Martin. Oh. It always happens. You say a flawless performance, and then the last one they drop. Well, now let's pause for just a moment in this band performance by the University of Oklahoma Marching Band for this message by the NCAA.
A lot of people feel that time is running out. Too many problems. Too big, too complex. It's a crisis, all right. Time is running out. But not for people who care about college. Not for people who are curious, searching, bold, adventurous, inquiring, inventive, sensitive, perceptive, engrossed, dynamic, vital, questioning. Time running out, not for people who care. College, it's worth it.
The preceding message was presented on behalf of the National Collegiate Athletic Association. The Cornhuskers of Nebraska have come back out onto the field, and the Sooners will be out very shortly. This Nebraska-Oklahoma game is being brought to you by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevrolet dealers everywhere. By Texaco, working to keep your trust for 75 years by bringing you quality gasoline and other fine automotive products. And by Light Beer, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. So we're getting ready for the Oklahoma Sooners to come back out onto the field, and we'll be underway with the second half kickoff very shortly.
Let's see how Texaco is trying to increase production in this tired old oil field, from a few hundred to 14,000 barrels a day. This model will give you an idea of roughly what happens 4,500 feet below the Earth's surface. Water under great pressure surges through the field. It loosens oil that coats the rocks, untraps small deposits, then forces it up and out. So far, it's cost about $18 million. But we've got to find more energy for you right here in America.
Come on, Harry, come on. We're getting our picture taken.
Special moments. Times of your life you'll want to remember. In pictures.
Smile, Howard. Smile.
To help make those pictures look as good as they can, make sure Kodak paper is behind them. If you don't see these words, it isn't Kodak paper. Just look for this sign when you get your pictures. Kodak paper, for a good look at the times of your life.
See, wasn't that fun?
Are you still chained to? Gotcha. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
Saturday, Tabitha plays Cupid for Aunt Minerva.
You think I'm in love? Don't fall too fast.
During a magical ski weekend on Tabitha. Then the chief gets a Dear John letter and Lieutenant Crandall gives him a shoulder to cry on.
Oh.
Well, the idea does have its merit.
Operation Petticoat.
Tomorrow on ABC.
Okay. This is Foster Brooks. This is Dave Dials along with Andrea Kirby. We're in New York, suffering, I'm sure, as you are, with the post-Thanksgiving letdown. This is the college football scoreboard.
What?
Andrea, are you all turkeyed out? After one season on the show with me, yes.
I tell you, turkey makes you giggle, though. I've been doing a lot of that this afternoon. Let's take a quick look at the top 10. Number 1, Texas still, but they play Texas A&M tomorrow. Second-ranked Oklahoma in that win today over Nebraska, 38-7. Alabama is third-ranked. They play Auburn tomorrow afternoon. Fourth-ranked Michigan, of course, on its way to the Rose Bowl. Number 4, Michigan. Notre Dame is fifth-ranked, and they'll be going to the Cotton Bowl. They still have one regular season game to go. Number 6, Arkansas is on its way to the Orange. 7th-ranked Ohio State, 8th-ranked Penn State, and Pittsburgh, which is 9th-ranked, and they play in the first half of a doubleheader tomorrow on ABC that begins at 12:30 Eastern. It's followed by the Army-Navy game. And 10th-ranked Nebraska, of course, the loser to Oklahoma this afternoon.
Well, I want to remind all of you that tomorrow, we have, of course, the Army-Navy game after the Pitt-Penn State game, but there's another big game going on in the Southwest Conference to determine the champion there, Texas and Texas A&M. We have cameras there. We will be doing live cut-ins there. In case you missed it, some action yesterday in college football. Miami of Ohio, the best turnaround, according to our researchers here, of any team in the country. Last season, Miami's Redskins 3-8, but beating Cincinnati yesterday by a score of 12-7, and Miami finishes this season with a 10-1 record. Our congratulations to Coach Dick Crum and Athletic Director Dick Schreider and their fine staffs. Jackson State over Alcorn State 26-16. Jackson keeping alive its hopes for a share of the Southwestern Conference crown. Ricky Patton won 85 yards for a touchdown, scored another, had 124 yards in all. Louisiana Tech over Northeast Louisiana 20-0. Louisiana Tech bound for the Independence Bowl in Shreveport December 17th against Louisville, holding Northeast Louisiana to 94 yards total offense yesterday and 18 on the ground. And I guess everybody knows that Oklahoma defeated Nebraska today 38-7. Oklahoma bound for the Orange Bowl, and we'll be right back after this.
We dads buy these for our kids, but who cares? It's Lionel's fantastic power passers. Look, the cars change lanes with new push-button passing. Hit the button, car steers right. Hit it again, car steers left. And the new high-speed T means that they will never fly off the track, even at top speed.
Okay, your turn. Kid owns the track. You gotta humor him a little, yeah?
Lionel's power passers. Exciting new high-speed curves and lane-changing action.
The magic of Christmas comes to life in instant color by Kodak. The EK6, the only motorized instant camera that gives you this. Bright, brilliant color by Kodak. You can capture all the enchantment and color of Christmas instantly. There's instant color, and there's instant color by Kodak.
Look what Santa Claus brought.
Well, at Los Angeles tonight, it's Southern Cal and UCLA in the crosstown rivalry of the Pac-8. Both teams playing with a bowl bid at stake. The UCLA Bruins, looking for their 8th appearance in the Rose Bowl, and a win tonight against USC would assure them of that trip. Terry Donahue, the sophomore coach for the Bruins, would be looking for his first trip. Quarterback Rick Bayshore, a sophomore, hurt most of the season. He may not play in this game, but if he does, he can do it all. Bayshore, a 48% completion average, 7 of them for touchdowns. One of Bayshore's favorite receivers, Homer Butler, number 18, the top receiver for the Bruins with 584 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Butler can hurt you with his average, nearly 25 yards per catch. Number 9, quarterback Steve Bukic, a junior from Newport Beach, has filled in for Bayshore the last 5 games. Bukic, the son of former pro quarterback Rudy Bukic. Homer Butler is also one of his favorite receivers. Bukic doesn't throw often, but when he does, it's usually on the money. He's completed nearly 60% of his passes. Halfback James Owen, familiar to the 1976 Olympics, he finished 6th in the high hurdles. Here's how he translates it. On the gridiron, he leads the rushers with 902 yards. He could break the 1,000-yard mark in that game tonight. But there's more than one great runner for the Bruins. This is running back Theodis Brown, a junior. He's second among the UCLA Bruin rushers, 91 rushes, 479 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And when UCLA's offense is not doing it, the defense is, led by number 5, Kenny Easley, a safety. The middle is anchored by Jerry Robinson, inside linebacker number 84. He leads the club with 68 tackles.
Introducing the new Remington XLR, the electric shaver that shaved as close as a blade. And to prove it, we're doing something spectacular. We're giving away a blade to compare it with. We guarantee the Remington XLR will shave you as close as a blade or your money back. Now that's really spectacular. The Remington XLR shaves as close as a blade or your money back.
Touch, the first computer TV. Magnavox touch-tune color television. Touch, and lock in computer sharp color, computer fast. Touch, no need to fine-tune ever. Computer-controlled color. Touch, even by remote. Star System touch-tune color television from Magnavox. Now, Magnavox helps you celebrate with holiday values on color TV, decorator stereo, and more. For the holidays, give yourself a Magnavox.
David, we apologize to our viewers that because of the shortness of time we have today, we don't get to take a look at Southern Cal, who UCLA is playing tonight at 9 o'clock on ABC, but really should be a fantastic game. Tailback Charles White, of course, being ranked among some of the greats from Southern Cal.
One of Frank Gifford's great lines is that not every kid can play tailback for Southern Cal, but every kid wants to. Rob Hurdle's a fine quarterback. Randy Simron's an excellent wide receiver. Despite the fact that UCLA can go to the Rose Bowl by winning, people who figure odds on things like this figure that Southern Cal is the favorite in that game. And it's going to be a great game. I want to remind our viewers also, in addition to the fact that John Robinson has an excellent team, you know, this is the year of the kicker in football, and for some reason there's a great concentration of terrific kickers in the state of Texas. Now, it's been said that Texans do things bigger and better than anyone else. If you don't believe that, just ask any Texan. But 2 of the great kickers in college football this year, Russell Erxleben of Texas Longhorns. He's one of the reasons the Longhorns are undefeated, untied, and #1 in the nation. And Tony Franklin of Texas A&M, he's the barefoot kicker. And ABC's News is going to have a fine feature on those 2 kickers tonight on the ABC Evening News with Harry Reasoner and Barbara Walters, and so I'm sure that all of you people want to tune in on that. I wanted to go down and do that story.
Of course, I'll bet you do.
Spend a few days down in Texas. Don't forget, tomorrow, Army and Navy after the Pitt-Penn State game. Games with great ramifications, great history, and great tradition. And also, we'll have highlights of the Texas A&M and Texas game. And Andrew, you and I will be back here tomorrow.
You bet we will.
Okay. The College Scoreboard Show has been brought to you by Remington, makers of the XLR electric shaver. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.
Yes.
Never find the bomb.
But the dice are loaded against them. Then,
If I have to, I'll kill you.
it's a duel to the death with a killer chopper for the $6 million man. Right after the Hardy Boys mysteries.
Watch Sunday on ABC.